Okay, I'm assuming we're good now. Um, we're dealing with a couple of unusual circumstances tonight. Nick is having tech issues, and some other stuff is going on. So we're missing two of our players tonight. Um, but the game must go on, or at least it should. Uh, I'm going to introduce myself first because I never get to do that. I'm Kevin. I DM this game. We're playing in the Border Kingdoms region of the Forgotten Realms. It's been a joy to play with this group so far, and I'm going to skip directly into their introductions with Derek.
I'm Derek. I play Dudley Driven. I'm a Hexblade, and I'm also part of Team uh, Con Dumpstat, and that's where I will be. And we'll pass it on to Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I play Urias, an illusionist wizard, Yanti pureblood, and he does not like dramatic queens or those that don't like him using magic, which is fine. Katie, how about you go?
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm playing Zen, the changeling fighter sorcerer person. I don't know what I'm doing with this character yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. But I'm here. I'll pass to Oliver.
Yes, hello. I'm Oliver. And I'm playing Bosk, the Goblin Ranger, who's a hunter. Hunts just about anything: people, animals, monsters, money. Bigger the better. And that's I think all of us.
All right. So last week, you guys had visited what you thought was going to be a bandit camp, but it turned out to be something quite different. Rithmore Keep had been occupied by a group of retired adventurers styling themselves as king and queen and setting up a new community in the area. So you did not get the fight that you were probably expecting when you arrived, but you did meet some new potential allies. From there, you decided to continue your travels to the nearest city, which is the city of Eeril. City of Eeril is famous for the gem and jewelry trade that passes through there, which generates a lot of wealth and gives the city a reputation for having monetary influence that stretches out across the globe. Um, as you approach Eeril, your first impression is that you're not seeing any obvious signs of that wealth. It's a rather simple looking plain village. A lot of backyard gardens and things like that. Everything is well kept up. Large hedgerows separating one building from the next, so everybody has space and elbow room. Um, the most notable features are a pond at the center of town that has locals are picnicking, some are swimming, some are just laying in the grass enjoying the sun, all around this central pond. And stretching out above that, one building uh, stands out in height far above the rest. It's a three-story structure of heavy timber with dozens of chimneys poking out the roof sides. That is the Bold Chiron Inn, the largest establishment of its type in the city. So I'm going to leave you guys right there on Central Avenue here. I know many of you have plans. Uh, who wants to do a thing?
Well, first things first. We should probably get someplace to stay for the night. And biggest house in town looks like a good option.
Sure.
I agree. I wonder if they got any games going on.
Oh, come on, Dudley. We just got here. Give it at least a night before you lose all of your money.
2 gold, he loses it before sundown.
Oh, I wasn't thinking of losing any money this time.
Well, I know you never think about losing it, but that's always how it ends out.
He's got the point.
There was about 3 years ago that week where I won every hand.
Really?
Yeah. I only played 2, but I won both of them.
Okay, fine. Let's just go. Everyone else, keep an eye on him. Make sure he doesn't wander off.
But he's the great Kingslayer. What are we worried about? I think he can take care of himself.
Let's not mention that. We don't need more bounty hunters coming after him.
Oh, wow. Wait a second. I thought you liked bounty hunters.
I do, which is why I don't want to have to kill more of them.
Okay. Okay. I wonder, can I get that? I could get that right, like on the collar, Kingslayer. That would like really work out well, right?
No.
I think George Martin has that copyrighted. So yeah, the Bold Chiron has a large double door entrance that steps down into the a central tavern and restaurant area on the first floor. There's quite a lot of people here. Every table is full at the moment. When you enter, a young woman approaches almost immediately and lets you know that you'll be seated in a moment. If you don't mind waiting right here, we'll get you seated as soon as the table becomes available. If you're looking for rooms, I can take you directly to our check-in counter, and we can take care of that.
How are you all feeling? Are we hungry? Do we need to get a meal before we get rooms? We're getting rooms either way.
I could eat.
All right. Room and meals. How about that?
Okay. Okay, fine. We'll take care of the rooms first. By the time that's ready, we should have a table.
Efficient. I like it.
So she escorts you across the tavern floor, and the smell of this thick beef stew that they're serving, kind of coming at you from all angles, to be popular at most tables. Approaching the check-in counter, there's a grumpy-looking dwarf behind the counter, and he's got a raised platform on his side of the counter that brings him up to your height.
Shouldn't he have a lower platform so he's on Bosk's height?
Dudley, give me a
No.
boost.
Sorry, strength is also a dump stat.
He asks a couple of basic questions about how many rooms you'd like. There's plenty available right now. If you all want individual rooms, that's an option for you. Price on the rooms, though, rather high. They're charging 4 gold pieces a night per room.
That's gee, how many beds do you got per room?
We have singles and doubles.
Ooh, it's gonna be tricky. There's 6 of us. You guys don't mind each pairing up for a room, right? 2 to a room. We can get the doubles. Save half the gold otherwise.
Could you not possibly give us a discount if we get 3 rooms? I think you could possibly lower it.
I could. I won't.
What if I don't know. I would like to make, charisma is not my dump stat. No. I would actually
Dumpy about you.
Yeah. I would like to attempt to persuade this dwarf that we should enter a bit of a haggling agreement here. Perhaps see if we can lower the prices a little bit. You know, it's just amazing if you turn on the charm just a little bit.
I'm willing to let you roll the die on a persuasion check.
Okay. Well, here we go. 13. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to turn out to be, given my luck.
I keep telling management we should have one rate for adventurers and one rate for merchants. Because adventurers are nothing but trouble.
That's true. You definitely don't want 6 of us piling into one room. I tell you, that room's going to be a mess.
No, there should be a deposit. Those are the rooms that always get damaged. Some sort of odd fireball incident at midnight. Cost 3 gold per room. How
I mean,
he is literally daring you to ask for a manager right now.
that guy.
I'm going to call his bluff. I am going to call his bluff. No, actually, I'm going to look in my coin purse because I actually can. Oh no. Yeah, I'll take a step back. I think this might be not a great option.
No.
Besides,
This is fine.
the rooms don't sound like they're very comfortable.
As
Should we ask
soon
for
as
a
everybody
tour?
starts talking, about money, all eyes turn to Bosk.
Listen, okay? I'm just going to point out, this is why we ask to get paid after we help people, so that we can afford the nicer things. I'm going to turn to the dwarf. This is a nicer establishment, isn't it? The rooms aren't that uncomfortable.
This is the highest quality establishment in the region. We've been
I believe
rated.
him.
We've been rated and reviewed by Volo himself.
I don't know who that is, but okay,
That
listen.
sounds unfortunate.
3 rooms, we'll be fine. No fireballs. I'm pretty sure none of us can even do fireballs. I can't. Maybe your ass. I don't know. I'm not sure. 3 rooms, they'll be fine.
I do
Okay.
have a lot of friends.
He sets you up with the rooms, takes you to them. They're all relatively similar in size, but they're each decorated and styled differently. One of them has a very like old rustic, like farmhouse sort of styling to it, with a large stone fireplace right there and ready to go. Looks large enough to actually like hang a cooking kettle from. Second room that he takes you to is done up in a very it's all dark woods, and it's got these colorful masks hanging from the walls, ported from somewhere else. The third is yet another different style where you've got everything is done in stone. There's like fur rugs tossed out across the floor, but everything else is done up in solid stone.
Was this the fireball
And
room?
then none of them are fireball rooms.
One has to ask.
And just to satisfy my own curiosity, who is rooming up with who?
Well, I'm gonna take the room that's got stone. It's got, that's classy. Who wants to bunk with me tonight? Hey, come on.
You don't terribly annoy me.
All right, me and your ass. Let's do it.
He has too much. He's too excited.
I don't
So
snore. I don't think.
that takes care of the stone room. Who's going to go for the dark wood and mask?
Sounds intriguing. I mean, I will go there and I will share the room with whoever wants to, but I will probably spend a good deal of time examining those masks.
All right. So Zin, would you like to take the room with someone who's not here tonight, or Dudley?
I don't like have opinions about anybody yet, really. But I am interested in the masks as well because of them being colorful and from different places, and me being an outsider that is appealing to me. So maybe me and Dudley will bond over looking at these masks.
Well,
Stranger things have happened.
I did put an arrow in you, so we do have some history.
Maybe that's not the best idea.
Oh.
No.
I suggest you keep one eye open.
I did forget about that for the moment.
It was, well, that will be ample time for me to apologize.
Okay. The rooms come equipped with good solid locks, and you have the keys. So anything you choose to leave there, you can expect it to be secure. And by the time you've settled in and come back down, the serving girl is ready to seat you. Found a table for 4 because Jonam and Dusk wandered off in a different direction for reasons to be determined next week.
I'm sure they'll be fine. You don't get a lot of pickpockets in this town, right?
Most certainly not.
That's okay. I have all the money anyways. Dusk refuses to accept a reward for anything that he does.
You may not want to say that out loud. Everyone's now going to look at you.
With that, you're seated at a table along the wall. You're not really like asked immediately what you'd like to order, but a separate server comes over with a large tray of sweetbreads and jams, and a pitcher of ice cold water. Once that's laid out on the table, he's ready to describes the menu. It's 7 or 8 different variations of stew or meats. Very hearty, rustic kind of food. Allows you all to select what you like, and then leaves to place the order. So with that, there's your opportunity to figure out what you want to do with the rest of your time here in Eeril.
Well,
Thus informing me of what you want to do with the rest of your time in.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I got some stuff to sell. To further bankroll our wonderful adventures that we're getting on here. And especially since no one else seems to be economically minded around here. So I'm gonna look for one of these gem merchants they're supposed to be famous for. That ruby, Dudley, that you almost died getting us.
Oh.
We're gonna get paid off of that. Promise you.
Just hold your horses there for 1 second, Bosk. I am definitely financially motivated. I'm investing in my future with every hand I play.
Yeah, you're as motivated as a man with a hole in his pocket. So that's what Bosk is doing.
You've met some men with holes in their pockets?
Cat, your return.
Just whatever she wants to do, she just does it. No manners.
It does seem a little strange. Oh, sorry, good. I was going to say, it seems.
Yeah.
I was going to say to the group, it does seem a little strange that it is a town full of gems, but they don't necessarily look well off. It does seem a little disturbing.
Yeah, but I would think that if it's like a trade, there are a select few in this town that have all of the money. And they probably live in like little fortresses, like, houses trapped or reinforced or whatever might be necessary to keep, criminals away.
Well, just because they're rich doesn't mean they gotta flash their money everywhere.
I'm just used to seeing that.
So, judging by the way you speak, none of you have been to Eeril before. I know for a fact Zin hasn't.
Haven't been anywhere.
Uh, so why don't we go with Bosk first, with your selling of goods? Do you guys want to go your separate ways or do this together?
Well, that's the question. If Bosk wants someone to come along with him and he doesn't object to that person being me, which
I would
that's two big questions there.
I would say Boss doesn't want anyone to come with him, but he doesn't really care if anyone does.
In that case, you will find me here. I have some research to do. A couple of doors to examine.
Just don't get caught.
No, I'm going to just. I promise. Scouts on. No. Can't do scouts on it. On this, and I'll pull out my coin. On this coin, I will do nothing that will cause trouble to come our way.
So if you do, I get to keep the coin, right? I'm in.
Sure.
Great. Good luck. I gotta go get
Okay.
some gems sold.
All right. So, doing a quick walk around town, it takes about 20 or 30 minutes of wandering among these tight streets to find the area you're looking. There's a stretch of businesses along the one street that all relate to the gem and jewelry trade. Um, all very clearly signed. The first that you come to is titled the Black Bracelet, and they've got a large sign above the entire length of the front of the building that has a silver dog underneath the words of the Black Bracelet. The next one has a massive glass windows in front of their shop. And etched into the glass is a symbol of Saloon, the goddess of the moon. And then in an elven script below that, it is titled "The Moon in the Window." The next, the doors on this one are very small. Anyone larger than Bosk would have to kind of duck head to get through this place. It's just very simply titled "A Handful of Diamonds." Uh, the next has a symbol that may or may not be copyrighted in some worlds on the front of it, called Felderstone's Five Rings. Beyond that one um, is another place with large windows in front, and they've got mannequins with dressed with fancy dresses and just like necklaces, and jewelry displayed on those mannequins. Galabathar's Rain of Gold. Final one on the street, kind of like tucked in underneath another building, and you almost missed it at first. But it's Serpent Biting His Tail is the name of the shop. It's the letters are like squeezed onto a sign that they barely fit on, and there's a dragon curled around in a circle biting itself. Plenty to choose from.
Okay. Um. Yeah, there's a couple of those that interest me, but I'm gonna start with the Galafar's Rain of Gold.
Okay. That's the one with the mannequin.
Mannequins, and they are wearing jewelry, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
When you stop in there, there's a gentleman in a rather wizard-looking robe behind the central counter, and there's two shopkeepers just rushing about doing something that seems very important to someone. Um, he greets you immediately. Is there something I can help you purchase?
Well, there may be. I'm not entirely sure what kind of items you would have for a person such as I. However, uh, based on the fine jewelry you have on display here, I might have something that is very much of interest to you.
Give me an insight check.
That's a nat 1, so 2.
Okay, continue. Uh, he's just kind of like stone facing you at the moment, waiting for you to continue.
I'm gonna take out the ruby in the necklace. Say, now this very rare piece of jewelry here. Huge ruby. You don't often come through something like this, especially not that's pre-cut and placed in this fine golden necklace here. Um, quite a story behind it, but let's talk about that later. What do you think?
I think that we do not buy secondhand jewelry, most likely looted from tombs.
Oh, it's absolutely looted from a tomb. That's what gives it all of its value.
Can I get just a persuasion check?
Yeah, 12.
There are city ordinances which prevent me from receiving stolen goods in a manner such as without proper providence and title. I cannot take possession of that jewelry at any price.
Mm, stolen is that's such a loaded term to use for this. It wasn't exactly, well, okay. It was technically owned, but you know, like mummies, undead, do they really count? I mean, do they have ownership rights? Voice is getting to me.
Yeah, I haven't talked all day, and now my throat is feeling like it's a dry pit. Uh, he glances at the two other people working there, and without saying a word, they disappear behind the counter into a back room. And he steps out from behind the counter and approaches. There's a tavern. That's my mic's not picking that up even. Um, there's a tavern on the edge of town. Black Horse Inn. Black Horse Tavern. I can't help you, but there's a man there who will be at the end of the bar, and he'll be wearing red gloves.
All right. Message received. I appreciate it, and I may be back at some point to peruse your wonderful items that are on display. But first things first, I got to take care of this. Can't be walking around with something this valuable all day.
Yeah, and he immediately switches back into customer service mode. As yes, if you would like to return for a purchase, we can assist you with any number of things. I can think of at least 4 pieces that would look wonderful on your frame.
Interesting. I'll have to think about that. Um, I'll be back. But you're a true professional. I like you. Thank you very much, sir. Hope you have a good day. Hope you sell all your whatever. And I'm gonna just back out. And I'm going to make my way towards the tavern that he has named.
Okay. Gear shift. Let's go over to Araya.
Hello.
Now, I believe you intended to visit someone you knew, Eeril.
Yes, I was good. So I would have slipped away from the rest of them. Not too keen on these two. I think I'll go for a walk. And
Okay.
I'll at the tavern.
You know a place. There's a member of the Order of Maraf here in Eeril.
Mhm.
He's a transmuting wizard. He runs a business where he purifies crystal that is used for other magical items. He does not create items himself. He purifies the raw materials and sells that.
Okay.
He has a shop. You're able to track it down. It's in one of those tight alleys. No sign on the door that would be obvious to anyone who does not know the order's symbol.
I'm just curious because we came into town and just everyone was so happy, hunky dory, snooty at the inn. Is anyone following me?
Give me a perception check.
Yeah. 13.
Sin, is there any chance you're following Uraeus?
No, I'm probably just somewhere in like the square-ish people watching.
Okay. So
Should
yeah,
I be?
you're. Well, if anyone in the group was going to.
Feel free. I don't care.
So Zin people watching, Uraeus sneaking around, cat appearing.
She does what she wants to do. She's a cat.
So stepping in this shop, you can see your contact name. I just flipped past without reading.
Oh no.
Yep. There we are. It was Belle Deshar.
Bell to shark.
Uh,
Is he human or is he any other?
he's a dwarf.
He's a dwarf. Okay.
Yep. When you enter the shop, working at a grinding wheel, polishing a crystal orb about 6 inches across. There's white powdered glass dust over most of the surfaces in this shop. And when he looks up and sees you, there's a bell that rings when you open the door. He turns around and sees you, and he just his shoulders just slump. Like this is going to be a problem for his day.
Come on, old friend. I would trust I will not waste your time.
Old friend, that's a bit of a stretch.
Hmm.
You wouldn't come here without a reason, though, even if it does usually bring trouble.
But doesn't that make life more interesting?
That's a threat in some cities. Living an interesting life. So, what can I assist you with? Get you
Well,
on your way as quickly as possible.
is anyone else in the room with him, or is it just him in there?
No, it's just the two of you.
It's just the two of us. Okay. I'm just saying, if I see footprints in the dust somewhere, someone's invisible hanging out there. He's got an imp on his shoulder. I don't know. I will allow you back to work as soon as I can get the information that I'm looking for. I am in the need of a divination expert, because I've come across some script that I would like uncovered.
He picks up a cloth and polishes the crystal orb in front of him. He says, "Yeah, I think I might know someone."
This is why I like you best, and why I say we are friends. And trust that I will pay you for your help.
No need for this. He'll be at the next Order conclave. Now, the Order of Maraf has a couple of. They're not exactly like scheduled meetings, but a member has the option to call conclave. And it's usually done for the purpose of trading spells or specific arcane information.
Okay.
Someone who calls a conclave makes a request for some type of specific spell, and then other members arrive hoping to trade something for what they're requesting. On average, this happens 2 or 3 times a year. And as far as this is the first you're hearing that a conclave has been called.
Anything in particular has called this conclave? So certainly.
Aragos called it.
Do I know that? I forget.
You know the name. He's a invoker.
Okay. What could he possibly want? What is he looking for?
Knowing him, he's probably looking for more efficient ways to blow things up.
I unfortunately can only hide things. But apparently at the inn, they think I have a particular knack for that. But I digress.
Conclave is scheduled for 10 days. 10-day is the Ferunian equivalent of a week, except it's 10 days instead of 7. It makes
Okay.
a much simpler calendar.
Okay.
Fun fact,
3 10
Eberron actually uses the 7-day week, doesn't use the 10-day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good enough.
3 10 days per month with 5 festival days between them to come up with a 365-day year arbitrarily.
All right, scheduled 10 days. It's not falling on a holiday, right? The meeting. It's not like
No,
someone starts.
no.
I'm just curious. All right.
No. So about 40 days from now.
You said 40 days?
40 days.
40 days, okay. Right, so I'll have to hold off on that.
Conclaves will happen in Rimdal, which is a city south of Shantal. Not in the Swordpoint streams, but near it.
And is most of the group expected to attend?
I don't know of anyone who will be skipping this.
What was the necromancer's name? I don't remember his name.
Nihilor.
Nihilor, that's right. Any word of Nihilor attending?
He was here not that long ago.
Oh. Clandestine. And what was he looking for? Hopefully, I'm a much better visitor than he was.
Well, he was paying for information.
And what was he looking for? Could I possibly buy the same information?
For the same price, you could.
And what is it you're looking for?
Hang on real quick. Let me check your budget.
It broke his joke, dude.
I've been kind of hoarding we haven't split any of the loot that we got anywhere. So if anyone needed any allowance at any point, we can assume they took it from me. So if you want to just use it like a group budget.
What is the group budget at the moment?
550 gold before I sell the ruby necklace.
Okay. So that's the total value in the group fund.
Yeah, I figured I would be holding it unless anyone else needs it because I don't know how much this group wants to play banker with each of their own funds.
Quite honestly, I prefer it when someone in the group who is not me keeps track of a single group.
Yeah, that's why I've been doing it. It works well.
Trust you implicitly, Oliver. Go for it.
Yeah. So, he paid enough for I'm gonna skip through a little bit of the haggling. He paid about 100 gold for this information.
Does it have anything to do with is it Air Genassis? Is that what he was looking for or whatever? It was all that city, the Cyril, or I forget what the place was called.
No,
Yeah, Kalashim.
Candleship. Sorry, God, I froze. I all the thought of
I
things.
know I could be wrong. Was that the one?
it did
Forgive
not have
me.
anything. Yeah, it did not have anything to do with that.
But you know he was at the ruins looking for certain things.
He's been doing a lot of ruin exploration, tomb
Mm.
raiding.
To what then is he looking for?
I don't know what he was looking for there. I just know where he was looking.
What other locations was he at?
I still have a very empty hand.
I will give him 15 gold.
That is a slightly less empty hand, but it is not a full hand.
I will try to get you the rest shortly. I have a banker in town that I can secure more.
It would be a poor idea to shortchange him, so he's going to continue with this. He was looking for rumors on the tomb of Caligrath Haliril. And I'm just going to type that into chat.
Yeah, I was about to say. That's without proper ventilation.
And you can give me a history check on that one if you wish.
Okay, yes, I do. Ooh, 19.
That's a wizard who died many, many years ago, who's credited with founding the original settlement here in Eeril.
Oh, okay, I see it in the name. Okay.
In a way that happens with many wizards, his sanity was in question at the time.
Isn't that what happened to the other place at the other? He went crazy too, that guy?
It's a very common ending for wizards.
I can't wait for it. Yes! It's my insanity coming. It was something crazy. Okay. I will give him another 20 gold on top of that. How long ago was he here?
3 months ago.
That's way behind.
I gave him the information. He paid for it. I assume he explored the location I told him of, and then him and his crew left town.
And they have not been back since.
They have not.
Insight check.
Go for it.
16.
You're not sure if this guy is capable of lying in any way that would ever fool you. He's just a bad liar, and he is not lying.
And he's totally huffing all of this dust. That he's everywhere.
No, he's just a straightforward guy. For someone who changes one thing into another as a form of occupation.
Well, I thank you for the information that you have given me. And I will be back with some more support if I can get the rest of that information that you gave him.
In the interest of speeding that along,
Yeah.
For the total price of 100, he'll tell you the location
Perfect.
that he gave to Nihilor.
Okay. And that was the tomb, basically what he just gave me?
Yeah, it references a location here in Eeril. It's the basement of a warehouse that's currently not in use. There was a hidden door in the bottom of it that had been found by someone doing renovations.
Okay.
They explored the first room, were attacked by animated skeletons, and left.
Okay.
Bell bought the information from them, sold it to Nihilor.
I feel like Carmen San Diego, getting all of the places late and trying to find them along the way. Okay. I think that's good. I could think how the idea of treasure in this abandoned warehouse thing would be good for everybody. So I will bow deeply. Beldashar, it was so good to see you again, my friend. And I hope to see you
This
at
is
the meeting.
I intend to be there.
Anything else I can look for you in while I am about?
Yes. But I am going to need half a second myself to tell you what it is. So I'm going to stall. I'm looking for a copy of a spell. It's been escaping me for quite a while, but I need it to further my research.
Hmm?
There's a spell that allows you to meld into stone. Name of the spell: meld into stone.
Okay.
Uh,
Alrighty.
if you come across the copy of that and can bring me a scroll, I would owe you a legitimate favor.
We all could use favors nowadays. No?
Favors are the currency of the order.
I will keep my eyes. Well, our eyes. Kalia comes out. I will keep all our eyes out for it. It was, though you were not happy to see me, it was good to see you, my friend.
Give me a persuasion check on your way out.
Sweet. I'm probably gonna fail. Oh, okay. That's not bad. 23.
When you arrived, he did not seem happy to see you. Will allow whatever animosity had been there up to you to determine later if it ever becomes interesting. But this interaction has kind of raised your opinion in his eyes.
I trust it was because of the friends I'm with. They don't make me as grumpy.
And for the cash.
Yeah. Take it money. Whew.
NPC Uraeus was much less agreeable before Lauren took over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, hanging
So
out with
let's
Dust.
leave.
That's why.
So let's leave you there and shift over to Dudley. You intended to find a game.
Well, initially at first, and then I got the uh, the the treatment from Bosque, and I decided that actually, ideally, I want to keep myself completely out of everything right now because I'm really starting to get on Dudley's nerves a little bit that everybody expects him to screw up. So I'm going to take myself calmly. While I will probably, have a couple of drinks and stare lovingly at any games that might be happening, I will not partake in them, and I will return to the room because I want to study the keys.
Okay.
Because we haven't really, I mean, we've talked about them, but I haven't really taken the time to really look at them, examine them, see if they have any
Sure.
additional markings, stuff like that that might uh, um indicate, when you have a bunch of keys. I mean, there's got to be doors somewhere, so there's got to be a start to a trail to look for a door, so.
Yes. Where did I put those? Oh, that made things get weird. Now it's back to normal. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a Discord glitch I noticed a while ago.
I had to
Okay.
maximize her camera, which made it weird for
Yeah.
a second. So
All right. So there's this box of 7 keys. It's a crafted box that was specifically designed to hold the keys. The 7 keys are held in like it's like indentations for each of the keys, so they're fitted into each one. All 7 keys are made of a different material and look nothing alike each other than the fact that they all have a letter in the handle of the key. I am 99% sure that letter was a T. If not, it is now.
Okay, that works.
Now I've written it down, and that makes it real.
So we have 7 T keys.
Yes. Keys are made out of gold, silver, mithril, adamantine, copper, steel, and electrum.
So that was gold, silver, mithril, adamantium, electrum, and
Copper and steel.
I think I copper and steel. Okay.
So that's what you can get on a quick physical inspection of these keys. But I assume you want to go deeper than that.
Yeah. I remember. Now, obviously, I have some Netherese like um experience with the language, and I believe that you said that one of them was marked with that at one point.
The T's are in the Netherese script.
Okay, so the T's are okay. Uh, hmm. And okay, so um, and I think we might have done this before, so you can tell me if you remember it. But I think I will take the keys out and kind of lay them flat where they're not protected by the box, so I can just run a detect magic over them. And I believe I found nothing the first time, but I just want to make sure because I think we didn't take them out of the box last time.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Yeah, it's only going to be a 9 today.
Okay. They are most certainly magical. And as you like inspect them, it seems that part of the enchantment that's on them is specifically intended to make detection magic, like detect magic, slip off of them.
So,
So
like,
it's like trying to get your detect magic to work on these keys is a lot like trying to pick up a like a greased water balloon. Like it's just never you can never get a good firm grasp on it magically to get the detect to work.
okay, so it's not like, so it's not throwing like false readings. It's just resisting everything.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
it's like if you ever like maybe like if your hands ever fallen asleep and you tried to pick something up, that's what it feels like when you're holding one.
Okay, so when that is what I get, then I'm fairly certain that a lot of this might be beyond my current abilities. But I will still, once I have all the keys out, I will try to do a thorough inspection of the box, see if there's anything like, check the edges, see if there's like, I know the slots are cut for the keys, but is there like lining in the box or
Give me an
that kind of thing?
investigation check.
That is a nat 20 to a 24.
Okay. The box construction is not that old. In so much as like it was not made last week, but it's not 100-year-old box. The keys have an older feel to them. You know, this box was created after the keys. The box was created long after the keys.
So it might be safe to assume that there was no, like, these keys were probably in separate hands and then brought together, and then a box was made to hold them,
You can
kind of
make
thing.
whatever assumptions you like, and it's never safe. But the keys have a like the type of material, you know, the way they're constructed feels old. The box, however, not so much. Do you have any experience with woodworking
Just
or
as
trees?
it would probably pertain, well, just tracking and stuff, but just also as it would pertain to the care of a bow and uh, simple things like
Okay, yeah.
identifying trees and stuff like that.
I mean, the box was made with a lot of skill. The pieces of wood are fitted together perfectly and tightly. Um, but the keys feel old. Box feels new. The wood is a really tight grain, which would make it, you know, it's the absolute wrong type of wood to make a bow out of because it's very stiff. This would be more like the kind of material you'd expect a violin to be made out of.
So, having then done that, I think I would start with like the copper key, and I just want to give it like a thorough examination to see if you know it's not likely, but to see if there are like command words or you know markings on it that might indicate, like, had it actually been used for like a door, there'd be like indentations on the key, or just so you get a general idea of, like, sometimes a key isn't a key, if
The
you know what
the
I
the
mean. It's
keys
just, it
are,
is a
yeah,
tool for opening something.
the keys are all one single piece of metal. Um, you don't see any type of machine marks. There's no mold lines. There's no sign of any kind of tool touching these keys to create them. Um, there's no wear marks. There's no, like, the keys that have a gloss finish. The gloss is consistent. There's no tarnish on the silver or copper keys. Uh, they are pristine, perfect versions of the metal they're forged from.
And I think my last question for the keys for you is, um, the order that you listed them off to me, is that like the order they're found in the box?
That was the order they were in from left to right in the box. Each of
Okay.
their spaces is cut to fit that specific key,
Okay. Yeah.
so they would have to go in that order, or
Okay.
not fit properly.
Is there like any significance in terms of history to, like, just looking at this list of materials? Like, uh, not really, right? They're just, a lot of them are like base metals or whatever, or like
Give
precious
me
metals and stuff. But yeah,
give me an Arcana check again.
I am just not doing great. My mind is on that game elsewhere. So yeah, as much as I'm trying to distract
Mhm.
myself with these keys, I am itching to play some cards.
Right. Um, 5 of them are base metal. 2 of them are alloys. Steel and electrum are both alloys.
Yeah, but I meant like in terms of, like, yeah, within that, but there's
No,
nothing, just like kind of looking at these. I'm not drawing like some some
it,
correspondence to anything,
It
right?
does. Yeah, it doesn't match the color of dragon, or any like creature types that you can think of. Um, you drew a blank on any specific arcane properties that they would each have. Um, yeah, the all that comes up as a mystery.
Okay. Well, with that done, I will probably put the keys back. Make
And
sure.
and you keep those in your backpack familiar for security purposes, correct?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So
Okay.
at least there's a secondary line of something. But actually, that that does bring up a good point. Before I put them back in there, knowing that this weird slippery magic is on them, and this thing has been sitting inside this accidental experiment of itself, I want to give the good old backpack a look over. A couple of scratches behind his little uh, strap flaps and stuff, and give him a look and make sure he's not further mutating or anything. Just
No,
curious.
the backpack appears to be perfectly happy. Like as you go to give it that scratch, like one of the bottom straps just starts tapping the floor in joy.
It's good because when you hold something like that for too long, you never know. Like you know, perhaps it's shielded by the box, but I'm curious because well, I didn't think this backpack would be sentient either. So
The box had no magical property whatsoever.
yeah, but it still could serve potentially as a shielding agent. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah,
just because of the
yeah.
materials.
A certain amount of wood does block detection magic, but it would have to be a lot thicker than that box. Unless the wood itself is something special.
Oh yeah, like a special wood. Yeah, and I
Yeah,
said it's not something. It's not a
yeah.
wood that I instantly like recognize. So I'm just gonna say, okay, if I'm not seeing any changes to the backpack, I put the keys back in. Uh, I'm still alone in the room. I put the
You've got now just have just enough information that you can like start running theories through your mind.
yep,
And let that iterate. So when you've got your private restroom time, you'll have something to think about.
yeah, exactly. And I think that's. I mean, I assume that takes a bit of time, so I don't want to like run over other people's time with
Sure.
that kind of.
So let's flip over to our fourth solo endeavor for this. Zen, you had mentioned you wanted to go people watching.
Yes.
Where would you like to watch people at?
I guess like in like
The
the
city's got like. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
The city's got like a bustling market district. Um, a lot of people going back and forth. There was the street of the different gem shops, jewelry shops that I mentioned with Oliver's character. There was the pond, which has kind of that picnic type of vibe going on. Um, any number of other businesses or residential areas to choose from as well.
How different is this city from like where I'm from?
That depends. How different is the place you are from a normal city?
Mhm.
I have no idea.
I
I
kind of
wasn't
like the idea of where you're from being very alien.
okay.
Uh, so yeah, I would say that this entire city would be extremely different,
Okay.
but not that much different from Shantal, or that's really your Shantal and Rithmir Keep are really your only other things to compare this to.
I was in
There's a lot
Shantal.
more. I believe so. No. Yes, you were.
Was that before I was me or because I don't remember. But maybe that's
Oh,
just
that's
me.
right. We introduced you on the road. That's right. So no, you have not been to Shantal.
Okay.
Not while conscious, anyway.
Okay, that's what I meant by was
Yep.
that before I was me. Same thing.
So
So
yeah.
I guess I'll kind of be in like the market square if there's like a bench or something like that where I can just kind of sit and not necessarily take like notes in a journal, but like definitely trying to figure out like the little mysteries of what people are doing and like maybe following a single person who really looks interesting and just
Okay.
I don't know, taking it all in.
Would you prefer a perception check or an insight check?
What's the difference?
Perception is noticing physical things. Insight would be motivations and social patterns.
Well, I have a +2 in insight, so I'm gonna do that one.
Roll it.
Ten.
What was that?
10.
Okay. Sit down there for an hour or so. You find like a bench that's next to like a rose garden kind of deal that someone has beside their house. And as much as everything looks different from what you're accustomed to, buildings look different, fashion is different, etc. After a little while, you start to notice that there are common patterns to how people are doing. You recognize, that this is what shopping, shopping looks like shopping everywhere. People who are walking to a, a job look different than someone who's walking to a date. You kind of pick up on that sort of thing as well. Um, After about 30 minutes of this, you notice someone else sits down on the bench beside you, and they don't say anything, but they're just kind of eating some type of snack food out of a paper bag and doing the exact same thing you're doing, people watching. Katie freeze. Did everyone freeze?
I'm still here.
Same.
Okay.
I think it's just Katie.
Does look like Katie's
Conveniently.
frozen.
Connected.
She was overcome with social anxiety.
Maybe? No? Yes?
Okay, now
Okay.
now you're back. Okay.
People are blinking, so I know I'm back.
Okay. So yes, someone sat down on the bench next to you, eating some type of snack food out of a paper bag, doing the exact same thing you're doing, people watching. Older gentleman, human, uh, doesn't look like he's dressed in any unusual way compared to the rest of the people in this town. The only difference is he's eating a snack food on the bench next to
Nobody else is eating snack food?
you. Yeah, other people, like there's got to be somebody somewhere doing it, but most people are on their way somewhere.
Oh, okay. Um, so I'll kind of like sit there and like twiddle my thumbs a little bit, but then like feel really awkward that I'm not saying anything and almost can't stand that this person is in, like, we're sharing this bench. So I have to say something because we're sharing this thing, right? So just like sit there and like think and think and think. Be like, come here often?
So right as you're starting to ask that question, he just like leans over with the bag and offers you some without saying a word.
What's in the bag?
Give me a perception or give me an investigation check.
What's in the bag and do I know what that is?
One moment.
17.
Okay. I got a text from Dan.
Aw.
It's some type of like it's white, and there's something like kind of like greasy all over it. Crunches when he eats it.
Thank you. And I'll very carefully take like one tiny, tiny little piece.
Okay.
And I'll eat that. Very carefully.
If you like popcorn, you like it.
Okay. Yes.
And he like after you eat a piece of popcorn, he speaks to you. I spent a lot of time here on this bench, but I haven't seen you before. That I find interesting.
I missed part of what you said. I heard that he hasn't seen me here before.
Yeah.
And
So he said, I spend a lot of time on this bench, but I haven't seen you here before. That I find interesting.
oh, I'm just passing by, I think we are. I haven't been here before. Is it
Well, you
okay
have
if I
excellent,
sit here?
absolutely okay. You have excellent taste in benches.
Thank you. So do you.
He nods, passes the popcorn back over to you after taking a piece.
Take one more piece. One more.
He just sits there in silence for like long periods of time, like he's not trying to force any kind of conversation whatsoever.
I'm having a hard time telling if I'm actually connected or not because everybody's so quiet. I'm just like sitting here watching to see who is blinking.
I'm loud. That's why I mute myself. So
Okay. So
So
I, as
if
well as
anything,
Zen, is very unnerved by how quiet this is.
Mhm.
And I just feel like some weird gnawing social cue that I should be saying something, but I have no idea what to say.
give me another insight check.
Seven.
7.
7.
He does not appear to be suffering from any type of anxiety at all right now.
Oh, good. It's just me. Cool.
Oh, don't eat too much popcorn. Your mouth's gonna dry out then.
Oh my gosh, I can't talk. My mouth's just so dry. It just.
After a few minutes, there's someone walking down the street. That they've got a lot of extra like buckles and jangly bits on their clothes. Um, Hat with a big ostentatious feather hanging out of it, and he just kind of like leans over, offers the popcorn again. What can you tell me? What can you tell about that guy from the way he's dressed?
Tries too hard. First of all,
What do you think he's trying for?
attention, appearance, wants to make a statement, probably.
Nods, doesn't comment, offers the popcorn again.
Every time he offers the popcorn, I'll just take like one piece.
He's fine with that. Like he's eating like a lot more than you are, but he's gonna let that comment go and float there for a little while. And unless you add to the conversation more, he's gonna finish the bag of popcorn over the next 5 to 10 minutes. Stand up. It was nice talking to you. And he walks off.
Same to you. Goodbye.
So after that experience, is there anything else you wanted to people watch or do? If not, we'll reconvene at the inn when everyone's back from running their tasks.
Yeah, I think that's good for me.
Okay. All right. So you guys all meet up back at the inn about the same time Dudley's coming down the stairs and starts looking for a card game.
Oh, foiled. Because if they're walking in, I can't start now.
Steer Nickies.
Well, I haven't yet sold the ruby, but I've been told there's a very reliable dealer in town. At a tavern just on the edge of town. Sounds nice and seedy. You might like it, Dudley.
Well, I think you have to pay up on your end of the bet because there has been no trouble at all. The time.
Inside check.
Perception check to see if I hear any like screaming and shouting in the background.
Any fireballs go off? No, I'm kidding.
Go ahead. And
No,
the second I see Urias kind of eye me up and down, I will
Yes.
intentionally throw some deception in there just to
Okay.
make him suspicious.
Why not? I'll do it. This is fun. Did I say insight?
Insight checks do nothing against player characters.
Yeah, come on. I believe him totally. Oh my god. What did you get into?
Oh no, we're good. Look, I told you that I wouldn't do anything, and I didn't do anything. In fact, I spent a little bit of time just studying some objects we have. I don't want to mention them out loud.
Great. So, in order to keep you out of trouble, we just need to lock you in the inn room every time we leave. Duly noted. I'm willing to.
That won't actually keep me inside. You know that, right?
It's better than the
You have
babysitter.
a means of just going wherever the hell I want to go.
Fine. I'll set some traps. Note to self: buy more bear traps. I'm willing to concede, Dudley, that you did indeed keep yourself out of trouble this time. So I will uphold my end of our bet and not take ownership of your coin. Congratulations. Now then,
I don't
have
think it anyway.
I have a tavern I would like to check out, and if you are all interested in accompanying me, I will keep an eye on you while you lose all of our money, Dudley.
I'm sure you'll find a better game there.
Come on, let's go.
Yes, let's just go. Have
What's the-
one like small streak of bad luck, and everybody thinks you're incompetent.
Lauren, you're about to add something?
Yeah, well I did was the warehouse near where he's saying where the tavern is?
Yeah.
That warehouse?
I mean, the town's not that large in size. It's just that the streets are so narrow and twisty. It's like they intentionally decided to make it difficult to drive a wagon through town.
Which makes sense. Makes life a little bit harder, yeah. Well, if you lose all your coin at the game, we can find some more. I got a good tip on a tomb. So if we were looking to replenish anything, I'm sure we could find it there.
How far away is this tomb?
Well, it's in the basement. warehouse? Not to, and I describe where Val gave me the info.
I mean, so there's a. I look around because
Give
I'm a little.
It is named for the guy of the town. I don't know.
Dudley and Boss, give me history checks.
That's a 5 for me.
Only a 7 for me. I am just going out of my way to roll low, except when it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'll give him the information about who the guy was, since I knew it.
Oh yeah, I get Reyes. You can drop in history check too.
No, I did it already, didn't I? Because you had
Oh,
me
you did,
roll
that's right,
when
that's
I was,
right. Yeah.
So I'm like, wizard went crazy. Don't worry, I have time before that will happen to me.
I'll keep an eye on you.
It is fine.
One eye on Dudley, the other eye on your ass.
You can do that remarkably well. See that? It's gonna
Just as long as you guys don't try to get behind me at the same time.
How are you going to walk anywhere?
Dusk will watch in front of us for me.
But I do think a little bit more of a shadier tavern might be more acceptable than this place.
Oh, yeah. Insane Wizard's Tomb absolutely sounds like a blast. Quite literally, probably. We'll definitely check it out, especially if you used group funds to buy the tip.
Yes, I did. Yes,
now
and I explain all that to you. Yes, and yeah, they're out.
Now we have to look into it. It's an investment now. But first, let's handle this thing in the tavern.
All right. So, Black Horse Tavern. It's kind of like pinned between a stable and a blacksmith. So it's definitely got like a lot of noise, a lot of traffic going by, like business traffic going by, and the smell from the stables is definitely present.
Yep, there's definitely a
though,
lot of money coming through here.
It's midday, but this place still manages to be dark inside. The thick cloud of like pipe smoke in the tavern. A lot of people like huddling in their conversations, quiet. And when you guys step in, conversations stop for a moment. And then, as everybody glances over you,
I'm gonna let out a big puff of my cigar just to add it to the smoke.
Did you ring or anything? Did you make it look like anything or no?
Just puffing some smoke into the air, like
okay,
looks good.
And when you push the smoke out, everybody goes back to their quiet, hushed conversation, turns away from you guys.
Oh, thank goodness.
All right, the three of you, this looks like the kind of place that you're allowed to get in a little bit of trouble. Just try not to get into a bar fight or something. I gotta see a guy. And I'm gonna start looking for this guy with the red gloves.
You see the guy down there. The red gloves are kind of like they're like sparkly red gloves, sequined kind of sparkle.
Okay.
But he's sitting there, and he's the only one at the bar drinking wine.
I'm just gonna pull up a chair. Is there anyone next to him at all, or is he drinking alone?
No, the spot next to him is currently empty.
Okay. Pull up a chair up next to him, climb up onto it. I assume it's human sized, and say, "That's interesting drink of choice for a place like this. Nice vintage or something."
Good enough.
Well, I'm not here to drink wine. I'm here to make deals. And I've heard that this is a good place to make some deals.
Good place to drink cheap wine.
Fair enough. I'm hoping that I can walk out here with a little bit more than cheap wine. Maybe we can both be walking out of here with something a little bit more. I got there was this ruby, right? Comes from a Kalimshan tomb. Pulled it off of a mummy. Pretty interesting stuff, if you ask me. How much do you think that would interest people around here?
Most of the buyers that come to Eeril are looking for new material. I'd have to take something like that elsewhere, sell it.
Right. Well, new stuff's all well and good, but I think you and I both know antiques, stuff with history, that's worth real money. Probably worth a trip somewhere.
I didn't say I wasn't willing to make the trip.
Absolutely. I could tell you were a man of good taste.
Just trying to find out where that come off the mummy.
Yes.
There it is. Okay.
Bosk
Now I remember
is,
how much.
yeah, Bosk is basically making the assumption that it has something to do with Kalimshan just because everything in that dungeon otherwise seemed to. So
That's a fair assumption. Do you have the piece with you?
you bet I do. I haven't let that on my site. Is this a good place to bring it out? It looks like, any eye is gonna be on us.
No eyes I don't trust.
Well, it's your establishment. I suppose if you can trust him, I'll do it as well. I'm gonna bring it out in one of the satchels I'm carrying. I'm not gonna pull it out and like put it on the desk or the bar or anything to draw unnecessary attention to it. But I'll pull open the bag and let him get a good look at it.
He gives it a good and thorough inspection. Do you have do you have a estimate of its value yet?
Me as a player or Bosk? Bosk. Bosk's not really a gem merchant, so I don't think that he necessarily knows how much gems are worth. But I mean, how big is this ruby specifically? Are we talking like
It's
goblin?
It's not like one ruby. It's a string of rubies.
Okay.
Give me let's call it an investigation check. Want to appraise it yourself.
Hey, that's a nat 20 -1 for 19.
Hey.
Okay. It's a high quality piece.
Yeah. Bosk probably doesn't have a figure in mind. He just feels that what he's got is valuable, especially since, Dudley almost died trying to get it.
So
anything
he
that relates to my near demise is priceless.
he takes a good hard look at this necklace and reaches into a jacket pocket, pulls out a small bag. Now, the bag does not have coins in it. When he sets it down on the counter next to the necklace, it's a stack of bars in the bag. Bars about 3 inches one direction, an inch and a half the other. And Bosk is definitely familiar with the sound of gold hitting gold as this bag of gold bars hits the table. There are 8 of them in there, and if they're standard trade bars, they're worth 50 gold pieces each.
Okay.
400 if the math is shady.
Yeah. No. I'm just thinking. So now, it's a good first offer. I like a man who comes out strong. Now, this piece was particularly dangerous to procure. One of my best friends nearly died trying to get this thing. The reason it had sat down in that tomb for so long must have been because the mummy was, probably killed every other adventurer who went down there. My friend nearly became a mummy himself after that. You know what kind of diseases they have. The necklace itself is clean. We made sure of that. But this is a piece that, your run-of-the-mill adventurer probably couldn't procure for you. Maybe a little bit of hazard pay on top of the base price. It comes with
Throw a
a
perception.
good story.
Throw a persuasion check.
That's an 8. Actually, no, it's a 10. I'm a +1 on that.
I pay for goods, not blood.
Well, it wasn't really blood. It was more. He was like coughing. It's okay. Look, never mind that.
I'm gonna have to take this out of town to resell it, and in order for me to travel with it and make a profit, that's the offer.
Fair enough. I'm just saying, the guy who helped me get it, one of my best friends, almost died. I had to try to get a little bit of a cut for him. But you know what? If 400 is your top price here, if that's all that you can manage, so you can cut a good margin here, I'm willing to take that deal.
Throw an insight check on top of that too.
That's a 21.
Yeah, if you're doing math from his point of view, it's not something he's going to be able to turn over quickly. Something he's going to have to hold on to for some period of time, take elsewhere, and find a buyer for. So it's probably worth quite a bit more than that. But that's what he's willing to pay for it today, with all of that in mind.
Yeah, I don't think he's trying to rip us off necessarily. And if he's going to have that same kind of trouble offloading it for the full price, we would have that too. And we have more important things to do, like raiding an insane wizard's tomb. So I'm going to take the 400.
Okay.
I have one question. Was I able to hear, even though I was not technically not that close to Bosk, was Bosk loud enough that I could hear him mention me as a friend several times? Because I need to know if I heard that so I can use that for later.
I was definitely
also
not
said-
being overly loud. I wasn't like talking in hushed tones, but I
Okay.
was not trying to be overheard by anyone while I was trying to discuss money in this.
Okay, in that case, that's
Best friend
fine.
was dropped more than once.
Red Sparkle Gloves was definitely being quiet and whispering.
Red sparkle gloves.
So Michael Jackson is busy. You have another jacket on too, right? Isn't that with stuff?
So yeah, I'm gonna take the gold bars. Obviously hand him the necklace and say, well, I hope that it's profitable for you as well. And if I'm ever in town again, I hope we can do business. It was a pleasure meeting you. My name was Bosk. I don't need your name.
He nods, picks up his glass, takes a sip. It was good business.
Absolutely. Enjoy the wine. I gotta go take care of my friend before he loses all my money. And then I'm gonna turn back and find out what everyone else has been doing.
So yeah, unless you guys were intending to get in trouble, you haven't.
Darn.
Are you gonna look for a game? Or no?
Yeah, there actually is part of me now because it was actually sanctioned because Bosk actually said we go here, you can find a game to play. So in my opinion, I was given permission to sit down with our full party bank no, no.
You will get a small stipend of several gold pieces.
No,
that I'm
of
willing
I
to
used
lose.
mine up for the day. I can't have any more.
No, of course it would not be. Of course it wouldn't be like I'm not. That's not all my money. I am honorable enough in that I will not take your money to gamble on without you giving it to me, and there's an agreement and everything. But
Without a better plan to get away with it.
yeah,
Mhm.
well, just wait till I take bard levels next time, and then we're going to be really good about this. No, yeah. So I will look for a game and see if there's anything that there is kind of an opening. I won't push for one, so if I don't see any tables that really
The only game you see going on here is a couple of guys throwing darts.
that I could actually I could actually do that pretty. Oh, I have a weird. No, wait. Now that's an actual that's a meta magic thing. So,
They would notice True Strike.
no. I was thinking.
Minor illusion. So that looks like he was gets
No.
Kevin going out of his way to make sure that True Strike continues to be as useless as possible.
No, I was.
There are ways to use True Strike. Damn it.
No, I was thinking that I would offer to make quote unquote trick shots, and I would shroud myself in darkness, which I could see through, and just toss darts normally. But that's a little too complicated, and would probably
also darken most of the bar.
Yeah. It would also result in it would also result in a lot of people that boss could just liberate wallets from No.
I'm not a thief. Jeez, I earn my money.
Yeah, you would be earning it while I.
We just have to make sure they're dead first, and then
Yeah,
make a tomb. We'll make this a tomb.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
How can you own things when you're dead?
I would go up there and ask them if they're looking, for someone to join for a round or two. It wouldn't be too long. I'm just waiting for a friend, and I see a little friendly competition, and I didn't know if it would be
if you want to get in a round of darts, and it's a simple claim next game, put up an ante. These guys are playing for silver pieces.
Okay, so there's probably not an easy way to make change. So I just pull out one gold coin, and I'll go.
I do not like the logistics of splitting coins, so change is never an issue because I'm not going to think about it.
Okay. So then I do some close-up magic, and I make that one coin into 10 silver, and then I just put the 10 silver on the table, and I go, and I ration it. I put take the 10 to full pile, and then I put 3 to the side. And is that
okay?
Acceptable to begin?
Yeah. For simplicity, let's make this 4 attack rolls.
Okay.
It is dex based. You are proficient.
Yep, I am proficient. Basically, so it's just a +5 to hit. I'm gonna if I roll a dagger.
Yeah,
that's
same
just
thing.
the same thing, right? Yeah. Yep. So 4 of them, right?
Yep.
First one's an 18. Second one's a 9. The third is a nat 20 to a 25. And the fourth is a 10. So, average, really good average. Maybe lower.
So the guy that you're playing off against, the crit hits square bullseye, scores you a lot of points. This guy doesn't quite accomplish that, but he doesn't have too many that are outside of the center ring area. So it ends up being a very, very close game that he wins.
So I will easily hand over his winnings. Take a look around. If boss, this is happening simultaneously.
I'm sure.
as
I
well.
assume all of the rest of the group was watching this unfold.
This is normal. He never wins. It's quite.
Yeah, I've stepped up and I'm watching this, and I actually, Bosk maybe feels like he might be good at darts because I've got the archery fighting style. I get a +2 on ranged weapon attacks. I'm gonna come up and be like, "Hey, Dudley, that you almost won. I'm actually proud of you."
I think I did screw that up because I have the archery. No, wait, no, I didn't take that, did I? No, go ahead. Sorry, what were you saying?
I'm gonna say, how about I take the next round? Double or nothing.
Persuasion on the double or nothing offer.
That's a 6.
He takes it anyway because he rolled worse.
Oh no.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if I see him trying to be persuasive, I would persuasion and deception are two of my really decent skills.
I'm a goblin. How good could I be at darts?
Oh yeah.
I have someone pull a stool up for me so I can stand on it.
They allow it.
4 + 7 attacks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. That's a 23, a 26, a nat 20 to a 27,
Nice.
and a 24.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. The other guy shoots about as well as he did the first time. But it's not close.
Do you turn around and backwards, don't even look at it, and just throw it?
Just take a big hit out the stogie as I'm throwing to the side.
Showing off, beer pong style, drinking and shooting at the same time.
Lift your leg up.
So yeah, they'll pay up. No problems there.
I'm starting to like this gambling thing. I'm just gonna play the one game though. After I get that,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shake the guy's hand and jump off the stool. Be like, "Yep, that's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen."
And seeing that Boss is back now and everybody else is watching, I don't really want to take up too many other people's time. I just figured that I would get in a little bit, and I just the first 3 I bet down there. There's 7 silver still on the table. I don't pick it up. I just walk away, and I leave it there.
Yeah. I'm not sure if a game of skill scratches the same itch as a game of chance.
No, because you can't bluff anybody.
Well, it sure scratched the itch for me. I ain't complaining.
It's beginner's luck, Bosk. Just remember that.
Slow
I
cough clap from Erase.
I think this is a good place to wrap up tonight. With the assumption that you'll be going off to explore the warehouse tomb.
We paid $100 for it, so
yeah.
we have to now recoup our losses.
And stopping now will save me the effort of describing it twice when our other players return next.
By the way, Lauren, I took the full 100 gold out of.
Well, because I gave him 35. I gave him 35 gold.
You can add that back on.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I took the whole 100.
So yes, awkwardness and fun have been had in Eeril. And that was good stuff. So we will be back tomorrow night for fun and frolic in Undermountain, as you continue to crack open that other completely different tomb.
Oh, the tomb.
And yeah, Katie, on the spot.
I hate you. I mean,
on the spot on your birthday.
Oh, I knew you were going to do that, you asshole. told Tia, I was like, I feel like Kevin's gonna have no idea, or he's gonna just mention it on stream. I'm gonna hate him forever.
Facebook does things to people.
Goddamn Facebook. I'm Katie. I'm a year older now.
Woohoo.
You can find me at Katie Bugs, where apparently Twitter is also giving out my birthday. So it's not the big mystery I wanted it to be. I don't fucking know now. Derek.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Dark Awesome. See me on Fridays either in the Humblewood or the Eberron game. Back here next time as well. Not much else. Lauren.
Again, yep, I'm Lauren. You can find me on Twitter at the Splintering, and our lovely Discord, because that's the word I couldn't remember. That's why there's a lot of lovelies in there. Oliver.
Yeah, I was Oliver. You can't find me on any of those other social media sites that the other people use because they're so fancy. I can instead only be found in our Discord, or you can find all the other fancy people as well. If I'm not enough, so go down there. It's somewhere. The link. Find it. I trust you.
Context clues.
Yes, and we'll be there.
We will. So on that, have a good one. Shut it down.
Oh, I have to do that, I guess.
Shut down.
I don't know how to do the fancy outro thing, so I'm just going to
Turn
stop
it off.
streaming.
Unplug
Goodbye,
everything.
everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.